by now would normally have booted me out. So let's have a look and see what happens. Is anybody there? Is anybody out there? Oh, it's saying there are people. Now, all I need to know is if they can hear me, if they can see me. I've got number 5 alive. Got an itchy head. Oh, Anne, hello. Well, this is only the second time of trying to get on the stream, so that's quite exciting, isn't it? Ta-da! I have, of course, got across the chat the entire title of my tour, which is slightly frustrating. Numbers have gone from 5 to 2 to 3. Never sure if I can really trust that. Hello, Adrian. How are you? Happy. Mike, hello again. So the questions won't be too hard because you already know the answers. Hello, Claire. Hello, Corrine. How is everybody? This is round 2. So for those of you that were here yesterday, congratulations. You should be able to get most of them right. Hello, Michelle. And for those of you of new and shiny, gosh, 12 hours sleep. That sounds fabulous. I tend to get woken up by a meowing cat in the morning. I don't know why I had to say cat at the end of it. You know, you don't usually get meowing dogs, for example, or meowing children. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Michaela. And hello, Fran. So, yes, but this morning, I was not woken up by a meow. So instead of course, feeling grateful, I, of course, panicked that Milo's actually died because that's my usual, default position. Hello, Margaret. Glad you could make it. I hope you had fun last night. Hello, Ashrith. So I went downstairs and I looked and I could see he was breathing and I went, Milo, and he looked at me and meowed. And he went, gosh, I've forgotten. Well, Ashrith, please do enjoy tonight. I know you're not the only one who was here yesterday. What's amusing is whether or not the people that were here yesterday will get the answers right that they got wrong yesterday. Or, I suppose conversely, will they get questions wrong that they got right yesterday? Oh, you're watching in your new cat pajamas. How fabulous. I'm not sure how long I can actually cope with this hat. It was from a party. I can't really remember. I've had it a while and it literally is on top of a cupboard in my lounge, as you do. So, yeah, bright idea of putting it on, as you do. I nearly asked the question of what is everybody wearing after hearing that you're wearing pajamas, cat pajamas, but then I thought maybe not. Perhaps I'll come up with some very naughty responses. Very naughty responses, knowing you lot. Yes, it is easier to get the answers right if you actually know the answers in the first place, I always find. So how has everybody enjoyed New Year's Day? Has everybody been a bit sleepy? Were there late nights? Was there too much alcohol imbibed? Or has everybody been doing what I did, which is, I didn't get up that early, to be fair, it's about 9 o'clock. And, no, Green, I can't remember because it was that long ago. I don't remember anything if it was longer than a week ago. Oh, a cat nightie. We've got cat pajamas and a cat nightie in the mix. So I went down to Allington Lock today because I wanted to see if there was a signal. And there is a signal. Now, at some time it's a little bit dippy on the 4G, but I think I'm going to risk it because I think you will enjoy the view. So first of all, I walked over a railway bridge. And this is my commitment to this year. So I started walking across a railway bridge and there was a man with his dog, cute Yorkshire Terrier, and the dog was cute. And he was walking behind me, and then I stopped and he walked past, and then I walked backwards because I was like, ooh, I'm not sure, this is a little high. Hadn't realised this was here. And he looked behind me, and I'm not psychic, but I think the thoughts were, oh gosh, I hope she's not going to jump. Could just have been Wisette, that really weird woman hanging around railway bridges. But anyway, I went to myself, sort yourself out, Leonie. You can do this. You are not going to jump over the side of the railway bridge. Get yourself to the other side. And my inner voice was going, but what about if you get to the other side and you can't make your way back? And I was like, well, then you'll have to walk a very long way to get back to the car, won't you? These are all my conversations. So then I walked down into the river. I didn't walk into the river, to be clear. I walked to the river, looked at the loch, which is very, very gushy water. Very, very, very. And I thought to myself, oh no, I'm not sure I can walk over that. Because, you know, if I jumped, I'd be swallowed up by that gushy, gushy water. And I was like, right, stop it. Stop it now. You will do this. You will do this. So I walked across and I was like, oh, I want to take a photo, but I'm not. Took a photo, got to the other side, and by now I'm like, walked along looking at the views, and then there was a route upwards and I could see it was going towards the motor, and I was like, there's no need to be that drastic, darling. Carry on. And when you walk along, you can see this beautiful building. I'm not going to give you any more information. And there were lots of steps to go up, and steps I'm fine with, because although it's a height, it's a funny height. So, you know, if I slipped, I'd just go boing, 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 boing. I wouldn't go, whee, splat. So I walked up to the top and I was like, oh, I'm so fit. I'm not so fit. I'm getting to be so fit and energetic. This is my New Year's Eve gift to myself. Then at the top I was like, and then I walked back down again. And then, of course, when I walked back, I was like so blasé. I was like, oh, I'm so super cool now. I can do this. Hello, Sue. So, yeah. So that's what I did for New Year's Day, as well as try to organise my books for my tours. Hello, Inga. So that I buy them secondhand. For obvious reasons. I have a lot of books that I've purchased, and I like to give them a bit of a wipe. So I've put them on the side, some of them, so I was giving them a bit of a wipe. And do any of you know old book smell? I was trying to, there's not an eau de cologne out of old book smell. And I was trying to get some Febreze, which in the UK is this thing that you spray on curtains and it's meant to absorb smells. I'm not really sure how it works. I never have it to hand when Baloo lets one go when he's sat on me. Hello, Seth. No, this wasn't a good old book smell. It was like a little bit, So I tried to Febreze a couple of the pages in the hope it would sort of soak in and the book would suddenly smell, you know, less old. Claire's throwing it down with rain and she's very windy. Well, that can happen over the Christmas period. You probably had sprouts, Claire. Had a lazy day with revision and planning for her Rest Less talks. Old smell, book smell. Well, I like an old book smell, but this was, I just really can't. Oh, I do like, you know, do you like when you get new books? Do you like the smell of a new book? Like, there's something to it. Yes, it was kind of, well, I don't think it was helped by the fact when I opened the first page and there were a couple of like teeny dead bugs, and I'd read somewhere on, must have been Facebook, where somebody was saying that when they buy secondhand books, that they always leave them a couple of days to make sure. It was a conversation about bed bugs, and I have no idea why bed bugs were linked to book bugs, because I think book bugs, I don't even know what they are, but you know, the little creatures that you get in there. Hello, lethargy. You use Febreze for pets. Paper mites. Yes, paper mites aren't the same as bed bugs. It was all a very random conversation I was reading. I didn't really want to take part. And somebody then was saying about lifting bed sheets and giving the mattress a little wipe. And then you'd be able to see if there were bed bugs. And it was all a bit distasteful, really. Oh, yes, new books. New books. I do like a pad of paper, but then I ruin it by writing in it, and my writing's always messy. And then the worst thing is when you spell something wrong and you either have to cross it out or Tipp-Ex it, and I'm not sure what's worse. And then, of course, when you're like a few pages in, you've given up the will to live anyway, and it doesn't matter. I don't tend to read ebooks. Well, I say I don't tend to, I don't. I just don't. And I know it would make more sense on holiday, but I just can't really see myself. I could see myself, well, I could see myself. I couldn't see myself, but I could see myself lying there on the sun lounger with an ebook above my head. And I could just see, you know, the phone landing on my face. Although I have, unfortunately, I think, had a nice little snooze with the book, and I've ended up with a sunburn mark with a book, white book shape on my chest. That was lovely. It was a super cool look, I'm sure. So yeah, and I think I like the paper version. You know, I like to hold something, but don't get as much time to read. It's one of the things I think when I'm retired, would like to read more. But then there's so much I think I'd like to do more of, and probably won't do any of it. I'll just sit there watching rubbish on Facebook and watching bad films. I watched a bad film last night. It wasn't a bad film, it's not the worst film, but it was called Marry Me with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. But I think I was fascinated by his wig the whole time through, which kind of ruined it. We've only got 1 minute to go, guys, and then we're going to kick off. Kick off with the tour, or the kick off. We've got Julie on board, who's joining other people's tours. Ah, yes. Claire's going to work till she's 92. Splendid. Splendid. Does that mean you'll span her till you're 92? Audio books. That's quite fun. Yes. And then that takes the effort out and just lie back and read. Well, you're not lie back and listen. But then I probably would stop paying attention and lose the thread of the book. When you retire, I will join other people's tours. Well, yes. I used to join other people's tours, and it's 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And you know what that means? That means it's time for the quiz. Hurrah! So, to everybody who has done this before, tickety-boo. To those who haven't done it before, also tickety-boo. I'm going to read out, there's 4 parts of the quiz, 10 questions to each. The whole point is not to know all the answers, except for me. I need to know the answers, otherwise it's going to be a really rubbish quiz. It's just to have a bit of fun. Put your answers in the chat, and Michael's going to be on the naughty step again. He's quite used to being on the naughty step, so he's actually got his name engraved in a plaque. The first set of questions is about America. To be clear, each one will be about America. Halfway through I won't switch it up, just for the fun of it. Those of you who are in America might find these questions really easy. And that's because in previous times, I've been told that perhaps the questions maybe were more difficult for those who weren't living in Europe. So this is your chance to shine. If you don't shine, then unfortunately, soz. So question 1. How many states are in the United States of America? Over to you. And yesterday, Streamlabs was very naughty and stopped the chat halfway through, so I had to keep moving it with my finger. So I'm very hopeful that today it will behave. Well done. Well done. I've got to take this hat on. Hat on? I've got to take this hat off. And now it's squidged my hair. What can I say? Got a few people saying 50. We've got somebody saying 45 or 55. I like hedging your bets. Inga's trying only to give wrong answers this time. That's fantastic. Some people do that anyway without trying. So the fact that you're trying to give wrong answers is highly, highly appreciated. And as with the majority, it is indeed 50 states. I am not going to ask you to name all of them. Maybe that'll be next time's quiz. What is the capital of the United States of America? And yes, the capital letter, I should have said the capital state, not indeed the capital letter, although I can see that we've always got one. But I'm guessing if it was the capital, then it would just be the US. No, it wouldn't be the US, it would be the U. And yes, you are all, of course, correct, except for those that weren't. It is Washington, DC. And what is the national bird? Ching ching. I started on the Prosecco on the 30th of December. I had a glass yesterday. There's so much left. I never think I'm going to get through the bottle of Prosecco. It's still not the Phoenix though. That is cool. And again, the state of undress of the eagle is being looked at here. So the follicleness state of that eagle is important in the answer. And I would say the national bird has been the national bird since 1782. 1782. Wouldn't it be fabulous if it was the flamingo? But sadly, no. So Florida's got the flamingo as its national bird. Well, I guess it's not national, is it? It's kind of its Floridian bird. It is the bald eagle. It's the eagle with no hair. And it doesn't mind because eagles don't have those hair jokes like humans do. Now we're talking about land size. Which is the largest state? Oh, now we've got it's the mockingbird. We've got flamingos and mockingbirds for Florida. Hello, Ms. Braceby, and welcome. I went to Alaska on a virtual tour. Some people are saying Alaxis. Oh, that's a mixture between reading Alaska and Texas at the same time. Trista's late again because none of her calendar reminders working over the holiday. Well, it is a holiday. Maybe they're having the time off. And you're only 6 minutes, Trista. And the great thing is you can watch it back. Alaska is beautiful and wild in many places. Yes, bald eagles aren't really completely bald, sadly. But there is a cartoon which I can't remember which made them bald. So that's helpful. The largest state is indeed Alaska. Now, thinking of people, which state has the largest population? So that's the population of people. Emma, your comment could be taken in so many different ways, and I am taking it the wrong way. We have California, we have New York. New York, New York. I'd have got this one wrong. Hands up. Told everybody yesterday I'd have got it wrong. I would have thought that the state with the most peoples was New York, but it's not. So if you said New York, you're in good company. A lot of America's population, yes, there are large areas of population size. Yes, thank you. Stay on that naughty step. So Corrine, hedging your bets with California or New York? I think I'm going to have to press you for an answer. And the correct answer is indeed California. So well done to the majority of people. You did know that. Ask me again in a week and I'll probably have forgotten. When did Christopher Columbus discover the Americas? I thought this was going to be really tough, but unfortunately yesterday I think so many people got it. It was very disappointing. Either it was a hard question. Thank you, Ashraf, for getting it wrong. That's pleasing. You know how to make your host happy. Well done, Inga. Yes. And this is when I found out that everybody sang the song. I didn't even know there was a song. But it's a good way of learning a year. In fact, perhaps we should do that for people's birthdays. On March the 19th, Leonie was born. Well, I will be asking questions about different countries, but it might not be Canada next time, because otherwise then people will research. Inga's got them all wrong. So far, so good. Well done. Well, who found who indeed? And it was, of course, 1492, not 1892. So 400 years out there. But I think, yes, the Americas had been discovered slightly before 1892. In fact, 400 years before. What is the Super Bowl? And I want more than a one-word or two-word answer. A big bowl for lettuce, a Super Bowl, yes, that would work. Oh. Is it an old bowling alley in Leicester, Mike? It would be a jolly good name for a bowling alley. But it's not the answer to the question, is it, that I'm looking for? Because we're talking about America, and Leicester isn't in America, is it? Still not as exciting as the Puppy Bowl or the Cat Food Bowl. A giant punch bowl for tailgate parties with commercials starring the Budweiser Clydesdales. Wow. And the answer that I have on my sheet is that it's the annual league championship game of the US National Football League, which is also known as the NFL. So well done to those of you who got the context. So rather than just being football, it is indeed the annual championship game of the NFL. Now the first name and the surname of the current US president, please. It's not Bob though, is it, Emma? And I asked for first name and surname, Emma, so Bob is only the first name. It's not Bob Biden, is it? Kathy, you wrote that. You wrote that just as I said it wasn't. It's not Bob Bobson either, is it, Emma? Bob does not feature in the America round. It is indeed, of course, Joe Biden. Well done. What is the US flag also known as? Now, this gave me the opportunity to find out another name that the Americans call their flag, but that's not what I want. It's this one. Hi, Ronnie. And what I'm going to say to you is what I'm looking for is how it's referred to in the national anthem. Star Spangled Banner, Ashrith. Makes me think of Chris Sprangles. A spangled banger. I shall end up not saying it right myself in a minute. It was very close, Athrish. I don't know what I'm saying. Ashrith. Not what I just said. It was very close. I get joy from people writing typos and the wrong answers. It's all about me. And I have got the Star Spangled Banner down. Thank you. Last question for America. Who shares international land borders with the USA? And I'm looking for two answers. They're both countries. Da 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 dee 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 da 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 dee da da. Now I'm thinking spangles are making me think of ice lollies, and I'm sure they're not called spangles. Sparkles? Oh, interesting, Inga. Any more? Are we all? I think you're all pretty much hit the nail on the head. Then it is indeed Canada and Mexico. I've been to Mexico. I haven't been to Canada, although I have been virtually quite a few times, to be fair. Now then. We're going to be talking about ducks. And for those of you that went to my duck tour, which wasn't really a duck tour. Well, I didn't call it a duck tour, but perhaps I should have done. I called it a visit to Lullingston Country Park. You should know a lot of the answers. And if you didn't, then do catch up because it's still on my YouTube channel. Yes, I would love to come and visit Canada, but it's so large, it would take forever to meet everybody. How many species of ducks are there worldwide? Worldwide. Wide world. Oh, Michelle. Yours came in quite late, but you are quite right. Ashrith, look for my second Lullingston Country Park. 250, says Ashrith. 12, says Michaela. 100, Sue says. 1492. Kathy's forgotten from yesterday. Seth says 162.5. How would you have half a duck species? 239 plus 1, 1250, 130. Higher and faster, over 130. 130 species. Any more for any more? Somebody's got it bang on, and although being on the naughty step was obviously paying attention yesterday, the answer is over 130 species. You'd still end up with a whole duck even if they're crossbred. Even, to be fair, you mean if a duck mated with a goose and then you'd have a deuce or a guck. You think that those of us who weren't here yesterday should have to guess the questions? Some species, no, you see, no, it's not a correct question because I have excluded the non-duck species. A dark-winged duck is half duck and half robot. Corinne's got all her ducks in a row. Well, that's good. My ducks are not in a row. They're going round in circles. I've forgotten the question. Right, the question was, the answer is over 130. And the next question, how many of those species of ducks are in the UK? I'm just glad I didn't crossbreed a fox and a duck because that could have got quite naughty. Margaret. 12. Michaela, you're closer this time. I will tell you are a lot closer. But you're not right, but you're closer. No, you're right, Emma. There is nothing naughty about a dox. That might not have been the one that I was talking about. Eight. And I can tell you that there were 22. There are 22, not were 22. There are 22 species of ducks in the UK. Now, I, of course, know the mallard. I've shown you the mallard on my tour. Also got to see a white duck, which is a farmyard duck. I'm sure it's got a proper name. I've also seen another type of duck, but I don't remember the name. Do ducks have teeth? Or origami? Have you seen a duck with teeth? I fed a duck two years ago on my birthday. Now, a farmyard duck isn't a species, but it's as close as I'm going. Michaela, if you carry on with 12, I'm sure there'll be an answer somewhere. How many months of the year? And Michaela's got it right with 12. A rubber duck, also not a species. See, the thing is, Michaela's still wrong with 12, mainly because the question was, do ducks have teeth? Beatrice, darling, welcome. We are still with ducks again. We're on question 3 of do ducks have teeth? And the answer is, of course, no, they do not have teeth. Have ducks ever had teeth? I literally saw 2 ducks today. It was great. And Beatrice, if you had been to my Lullingston Country Park tour, I'm talking absolute nonsense. Why am I saying Lullingston? It's not Lullingston at all. I do apologise. It's Leybourne Lakes. Lullingston Country Park was just before we went to Castle Farm. It's Leybourne Lakes. Second Leybourne Lakes tour. Why did nobody pick me up? I mean, you guys have been on my tours. You should have said to me, no, Leonie, Lullingston Country Park is lots of trees. There are no ducks. Goodness gracious me. So, have ducks ever had teeth? And I'm going to say yes. Fossil evidence in the Jurassic period showed that they did have teeth. But then they thought, why? Well, all we're doing is paying for fillings. Let's lose the tuggy pegs. Now, what is another popular name for a duck's beak? Still Schnabel? Definitely not Bob, but I like... Yes, so many Bobs in all my quizzes now, and I blame Emma, quite frankly, for all of these Bobs. The answer is indeed what you would get at the end of a restaurant meal. It's a bill. What are the names of Disney's triplet cartoon duck characters? And I partly asked this question just to see how terrible the spelling of their names. I think Sharon may not be watching this live. Huey, Dewey, Louie, Billy. Huey, Dewey and Louie. Tick, trick and track in German. True. So I do understand that actually their names are different depending on where you are located. And I will accept the names that do not appear in English but appear in German or Swiss. However, what I cannot accept is Margaret's version, because that's just wrong. Yes, Quick, Quack and Quack are acceptable. Tick, Track, Tuck, and the other one that I've already forgotten. But the answer I have, of course, being British, is Huey, Dewey and Louie. So I have Huey, Dewey and Louie. I'm sorry, Margaret, but I can't break the rules. There's very strict rules to this quiz, and I think you know that. Who is their uncle? There is a great uncle as well, but I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for the uncle. You could have had Bob, Bob 2 and Bob 3, to be fair, Emma. Sue, I'm fairly sure you didn't mean to say that. Isn't it awful that on yesterday, I think it was, the first proper laugh I had is when I was in a supermarket and an older child slipped over. She was absolutely fine. She found it funny, but that was the first laugh I'd had all day, and it was somebody falling over. Very amusing. I laugh at these things because I do them myself. You do know the name of Donald Duck's life, and it is indeed, sorry Sharon, not 1492. It is indeed Donald Duck with a D. And what does a duck's gizzard do? What is a gizzard, Beatrice? A Gizzard. I'm afraid they don't chew with their bills, Ashraf. It is indeed very important to them because ducks don't chew their food. They don't have teeth, as we already established. So what they have is their gizzard, which breaks down their food into little pieces for digestion. It's very clever indeed. So when you get false teeth, you need to grow a gizzard. What is the name for and dare I ask this, what is the name for a female duck? That was what I was expecting you to say yesterday. Fra Ente. Or true, it should be Bobette for a female duck, to be fair. Mrs. Duck, equally. Babita. Poor Bob. Ah, lovely duck. That's what your teacher called you. Well, Jemima, puddle duck, yes, true, but not actually what I'm... Although duck is technically what a female duck is called, there's actually something I'm looking for that's more specific. Corinne, a male goose is a gander. And the answer, the name for a female duck, is indeed a hen. Quack. What is the name for a male duck? It is. Here you are, duck. Thanks, duck. Term of endearment. I think it's also the same in the north a bit, isn't it? Herente. Eop, me duck. Eop, duck. Eop, me duck. I forgot, Corinne. I forgot that you were doing wrong answers. Gant is a gans, isn't it, Michaela? That isn't how you speak, Michaela, Beatrice. But I cannot imitate your accent when I haven't heard you speak. And the name for a male duck would indeed be a drake. Was it Drake who did 50 cents? Or was it 50 cents who did 50 cents? Gans is also Dutch for goose. Yes, with the G, I was thinking it sounded goose. I don't know what Dutch is for... a rapper. I don't know what the Dutch is for... duck. So I was distracted by Sharon's Old Glory. Because I'm guessing when Sharon's putting her comments in, she's not seeing all the duck questions. Not sure. Right, higher or lower, chaps? This is so terribly old. Oh, duck equals ind. Ind or end? Ind? Dutch for Bob is probably Bob. Right. Because yesterday people complained and said I don't do kilometres, I've got twice for you. See, this is what your tour guide does for you. I've been distracted by Beatrice's comment, which I can't read out. We're going to be talking about animal speeds. So, we're starting off. I've frozen in Sue's phone. Refresh! Refresh! Refresh, Sue! Can somebody write to Sue to refresh? An elephant, top speed of 40 kilometres an hour, which is approximate to 25 miles an hour. The question is a grizzly bear faster or slower than an elephant? The thing is, with a grizzly bear, it wouldn't trumpet as well as an elephant. That's a really terrible elephant impression. I've never seen myself do an elephant impression, and I think I should refrain from doing it again. We've got faster, 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 slower, faster. Faster than an elephant. And it depends if it's Yogi or Boo-Boo. Boo-Boo. Well, yes, at 25 miles an hour, the elephant, I would be faster than it in my 30-mile-an-hour zone. And the grizzly bear, would the grizzly bear overtake the elephant? And would it indicate? A grizzly bear is indeed faster. Thank you, Claire. At 48 kilometres an hour or 30 miles an hour. So if it was in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, a grizzly bear would not break the speed limit. Now, that was recorded at Yellowstone, or Yellowstone, which I think is an accurate representation of grizzlies. Now, moving on to a hedgehog. Is a hedgehog faster or slower? I really need one of these for faster and slow and one for higher and lower. Is a hedgehog faster or slower than a grizzly bear? For those of you that went to my hedgehog tour, you will have seen hedgehogs recently. So hopefully you can imagine them in a race against a bear. A hedgehog has tiny legs, but it doesn't mean that it can't make up for that in speed. I mean, if you think about the weight comparison with a bear, how speedy is that to an elephant, to a hedgehog? And maybe the hedgehog has jumped onto a skateboard because it would fit on a skateboard, whereas a grizzly bear would be too large for a skateboard, I think. And yes, as Emma said, it's the spikes. So is there kind of some wind differential that would mean they go... Oh, give my love to Ian. So I think that Ian should be on the quiz, quite frankly. I think that therefore most of you are right. The hedgehog is indeed slower. It does about 8.7 kilometres an hour or 5.4 miles per hour downhill. It would be a lot slower going uphill. Let's face it, aren't we all? But it says it can do up to 9.5 kilometres or 5.9 miles per hour in short bursts. I'm not sure how short that burst is. Not sure he was measuring. So now we're going to compare the hedgehog with a pig. Is the pig faster or slower than the hedgehog? we're saying so far we've got 2 answers for faster. We're saying faster, faster, slower. Ronnie thinks slower. Lethargy's going faster, faster. So she thinks it's quite a lot faster. Faster, especially if wearing roller skates. I think we have to discount any animal wearing roller skates because that would give it an unfair advantage. And I'll be honest, actually, saying that, I do know that I said about the hedgehog on the skateboard, and I think the hedgehog would be disqualified on a skateboard too. Again, no skis allowed, because I think what we need to do is think about whether it's likely we would be having a pig at prey ski. Pig's actually not that speedy, I'll be honest. It's twice as fast as the hedgehog. It only gets up to 18 kilometers an hour or 11 miles per hour. So we can actually outrun a pig. I mean, I say we loosely because I'm not sure what your fitness levels are like, and I probably couldn't run faster than 11 miles an hour, but I'd give it a good old go just to embarrass the pig. A wildebeest, which we've all clarified on my page what a wildebeest looks like. And is a wildebeest faster or slower than a pig? Got a lot of fasters going on here. Beatrice, now you know what a wildebeest is. You know, you have learnt something. You are a more educated person than you were. It's a gift. Anybody says to you, what's a wildebeest? Now you will know. I'm sure it often comes up in polite conversation in Switzerland. And what I'm going to say is, this wildebeest is a speedy, speedy creature. It's at 80.5 kilometers an hour or 50 miles an hour. We are talking nearly 5 times as fast as a pig. This wildebeest has speed. And it needs to, because quite frankly it's probably running from lions. And let's move swiftly from a wildebeest to a pigeon. Do we think a pigeon is faster or slower than a wildebeest? Beatrice, it's not its fault that it looks like it looks. Oh, I'm glad you clarified, because yes wasn't that helpful, Beatrice. Again, what type of pigeon? It's just a normal pigeon. It's not a speedy racing pigeon. It's a little pigeon. And what's his name? Oh, well, we don't know because Emma's gone. But actually, I can tell you, if Emma was here, the pigeon's name would be Bob. Yes, wildebeest do fly much slower than pigeons. Not that I've ever seen a wildebeest fly, to be fair. However, the pigeon is faster. It is flying, obviously, but it's not hugely faster because it's 97 kilometers an hour or 60 miles an hour. So it's 10 miles an hour faster. But What about a lion? Is a lion faster than a pigeon? So a lot of people are thinking that the lion is faster than the pigeon. Margaret thinks they're the same. I would never be so cruel that is to have one that was the same. His roar's definitely louder. So is he slower or faster? Slower or faster? And I'm going to tell you that the lion is slower. So the lion can go at 49.7 miles per hour, whereas the pigeon could go at 60. So what you may have noticed that the lion and the wildebeest are practically the exact same speed, except that the lion maximum speed is about 49.7 miles an hour and the wildebeest is 50.02, which is of course why lions hunt in packs. So, do we think a fox is faster than a lion? Well, of course, it depends what incentive you have. I'm sure if I had a lion chasing me, I would run faster than I would do normally. Good night, Mr. Fox. Do we think he's faster or slower than a lion? And we are going to say that the fox is slower than the lion, and quite a bit. 80 kilometers an hour the lion is, as opposed to 50 for the fox, or basically 50 miles an hour against 31 miles an hour for the fox. So the fox is slower. But what about a kangaroo? Is a kangaroo faster than a fox? I get foxes in my back gardens. Back gardens, I've only got one. Back garden. But I don't see any kangaroos. But would a kangaroo be faster? Or is it the hop? It would take the time to come down, 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 as opposed to... Kangaroo definitely bouncing higher than a fox, depending on whether or not the fox is trampoline. In the UK, we see a few videos of foxes bouncing on trampolines. Whether or not it's bouncing higher than a kangaroo, of course. And the kangaroo goes higher. No, not higher. The kangaroo goes faster than a fox. Fox is 71 kilometers an hour as opposed to 50, or 44 miles an hour as opposed to 31. So basically a fox in a 30 mile an hour zone would go 1 mile over, but a kangaroo would get a speeding ticket. Now then, tiger. We've only got 2 more. What about a tiger? Is a tiger faster than a kangaroo, do you think? Lethargy is thinking that the tiger's faster than a kangaroo. We've got Claire faster. We've got Ronnie with a So I'm guessing she's trying to work that one out and buying time with a Got a few fasters. Has anybody disagreed? Anybody going to disagree with faster? Everybody at the moment saying a tiger is faster than a kangaroo. Are there any more bets? Place your bets. Place your bets now. And I can confirm that you are all well, except for Seth, who put in a late bet. I can let you know that the tiger is slower. A kangaroo's at 71 kilometres an hour as opposed to a tiger at 64 or 44 miles an hour compared to 39.7. So I'm afraid in a race the kangaroo would win. Ba-boing! And the last one is a cheetah. Is a cheetah faster or slower than a tiger? We got faster, faster, faster. Faster. Cheetah in Tarzan indeed was a chimpanzee, but this is actually the animals. Ronnie is missing out sort of some words. So cheetah, very fast. Much faster, faster. Lethargy's going to say slower. Definitely faster. Definitely. Cheetah is a cheetah. Any more for any more? Place your bets, place your bets. Because I can say, of course, that yes, indeed, the cheetah is faster. And it would help, but it's on the back of this page that I've turned over too quickly. The cheetah has a top speed of 74.5 miles an hour, from 67 to 74.5 miles per hour, as opposed to the tiger at, say, 40. Or 64 kilometres per hour, as opposed to 109 to 120. So quite a lot faster, because the leopard is super, super fast. And now we're moving to the last round, which is the music round. Why do we call it a Jeopard like a monkey? I'll be honest, Beatrice, I have absolutely no clue what you're asking me. I don't know what a jeopard is. I know what a leopard is, but I wouldn't compare a leopard with a monkey. So I may have missed something, or you may have typed something differently. Well, I never really use current music, so you'll be pleased to know this isn't current music. So, question 1. Oh, Jeopard is cheetah, okay. So why do I call a cheetah a monkey? A cheetah isn't like a monkey. I feel almost like I could... so a monkey's a monkey, a cheetah's a cheetah, a leopard's a leopard, and I'm moving on to the music round before I confuse myself and anybody else. What season and year did Bryan Adams sing about? What season and year did Bryan Adams sing about? And I want you to be singing it. Didn't sing about winter, you're quite right. Quite white, Beatrice. Duck season, wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season. Yes, a season and a year, Margaret, I'm going to push you. Not literally. Ah, thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire. Claire is a spanner. Right, so in the film Tarzan, Beatrice, there was a there was a chimpanzee who was called Cheetah. At least I thought he was talking about Tarzan. No, you're talking about Michael Jackson, so now we're all very confused. Well, I was very confused. Yes, it was. It was Tarzan's chimpanzee. Phew! My cultural references are still on the nose. So the season and year that Brian... But thank you, Claire, because that triggered off Tarzan again in my head. So anyway... What season and year did Bryan Adams sing about? And it was, of course, the summer of '69. So I've seen a couple of different years going on, but it was indeed summer of '69. Mr. Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. There's no... Anyway, enough of that. Who sang 1999? Getting a lot of answers the same here. And I do find when you're typing on YouTube, it always starts with a lowercase letter, which is really annoying, isn't it? Karina, I am singing a completely different song. That's because I've forgotten the tune to Summer of '69. I did that one yesterday. Tune's gone by now. Prince William probably didn't sing it, but it was indeed Prince. And which year did Prince sing? 1999. I've now got Raspberry Beret going round my head, so thank you for that. Which year? Was indeed Michelle Prince. Michaela, there's no 12s in the answer. Sorry. Ah, well, you see, the artist was actually just Prince at the time. Ah, to be born in 1982, eh, Claire? You're a mere wee slip of a thing. Well, it's got a 2 in it, Michaela. And if you take away 1970, then it's 12. So you're nearly right. And it was, of course, 1982. How you guys know that? I mean, except if you were born in that year. Well done. Now then, this is a little bit of a question that I think more of the Europeans will know. Which year did Busted sing about? Busted being a band. La 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 la. Don't feel old. Age is but a number. Oh, less answers on this one. Beatrice, you'll need to Google them. Busted. Oh, well done, Ronnie. Look at you all, you hipsters. And they said, welcome to the year 3000. And then they said, not much had changed, but they lived. And what's the next word? Not much has changed, but they lived. Who wants to live forever? Who dares to live forever? But they lived for beer. They lived in the London Tube. They lived forever. You're not old, Beatrice. Corinne is not old. Beatrice is not old. Yes, that is Queen. I'm distracting you all. They lived in a yellow submarine. They lived underwater. And they had triple-breasted women swimming around naked. What was Simply Red doing with the years? Yes, but it wasn't actually the underwear, was it, Beatrice? They were just underwater. It's nearly right. But if you said you wanted to stick your head underwear, it would be slightly different meaning. Well, Seth, they might have to invent them. They were indeed holding back the years. Holding them back! If only we could. Al Stewart sang about the year of the what? Al Stewart sang about the year of the year of the wildebeest. The year of the beer. The year of the duck. Now that should be a thing. And of course, lethargy, it was your birthday when we walked round Leybourne Lakes. The year of the elephant, the year of the giraffe. The year of the hedgehog. Still a lot of wrong answers, I'll be honest, but I think they're not necessarily being serious now. Year of the pig. The year of the one-hit single. I always say that word wrong. I don't know why. It was indeed the year of the cat. Meow. What artist and his friends probably couldn't replace a car battery, but in 1988 released The Living Years? And unfortunately, that has been going round my head all day. All day. Beatrice is always serious. Straight face. Stiff upper lip. Margaret, you've forgotten the lead singer. I love that Michelle is actually slightly behind. So actually the artist and his friends was called The Walrus. The Walrus? The Walrus, even. Young Mike, but not our Mike. It was indeed Mike and the Mechanics. And I didn't need to stop that song going around my head. Only 2 questions left and then it's the end of the quiz. In 1986, Europe released a song that fits New Year's Eve. What would that song be? Take on me, take on me, take me on. Do 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 do, be yours. Do 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 do. So in 1986, Europe released a song that fits New Year's Eve. Kathy's written 1982. I feel like we've gone back to question 3. Is anybody on this live, or am I literally... Yes, the glass broke, the windows shattered. And it was, of course, the final countdown. Just as I say, this was not the final countdown. No, just as soon as I'm about to announce that it is the final countdown, Beatrice tells me that it's not the final countdown. But it was the final countdown. What I would say is, when I finish this, it may automatically go to private because that's what happened yesterday. If it does, don't panic. I'm going to go straight in and I'm going to put it back to public. But whether or not you then have to go back to where you were, so keep an eye on where you are on the stream. I love it. The final countdown. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And it's the last question. Which group has a song to start the day with? And by the day I mean today, and by today I don't mean the fact that it's a Monday, I mean the actual day that we are on that's very special. Well, Sue, I think you preempted the question. The Zombies. And if you know the name of the song, don't be shy. Happy New Year to you, Sue. Happy New Year to you, Lethargy. Abba-dabba-doo. Beatrice is singing it. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. Seth, I'm very pleased. I did want everybody to have an earworm. I didn't want myself to have an earworm. This year will be our year by the Zombies, Mike, is not it? It's not Taylor Swift, it's not Willie Nelson, it's not U2. It's not the answer, Mike. It's not the answer that I've got written down, which is what I wrote. Who is Joey Tempest? Yes, Lethargy, that would work for today. I don't like Mondays, but unfortunately today is, of course, New Year's Day. And the song is by ABBA. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Da, 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 da. Ah, the Singer of Europe. Right, okay, so she's not that far behind then. She's confusing us all. I didn't know the Singer of Europe was Joey Tempest. But in fact, yes, ABBA, Happy New Year, 1980. When I was a mere pup, and I used to get my tape cassette player out, get my tape of ABBA, and play it on New Year's Day, loudly, I think, to wake everybody up, or to announce to the world that it was Happy New Year. It was fabulous. Those were the days. So, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to everybody if you have been able to like the video, subscribe to my channel, or indeed make a little tippity tip via my Buy Me a Coffee or my PayPal. Thank you very much for all your support. This is a new year. This is very exciting times. No idea what tours I'm going to be doing this year. Fly by the seat of my pants and see what happens. I did do a signal test, as I said today. I went down to Allington Lock. So that's somewhere I will be able to take you at some point. So that's quite exciting. I will be arranging a meetup for members soon. So if you would like to become a monthly member, that's on my Buy Me a Coffee. And you get access to previous unlisted YouTube tours. And I also have a regular catch-up over kind of Zoom, but it's not Zoom. So it doesn't matter that you were worse than yesterday, because that's all about taking part and having fun. And the great thing is, I wouldn't know hardly any of the answers. I do always know the questions and the answers because I have to write them down. Ashrith did better this year, but the music round was the hardest. Really pleased you had fun. Thanks everybody. Do please keep an eye on our website. See who else is doing tours. As I say, if you are watching slightly delayed, don't panic. What I will do is, well, of course, I guess you won't see this because this is right at the end. Maybe I should have said that at the beginning. It's all very complicated. But what I will say to you all, thank you for joining. Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope to see you all again very soon. And I will be posting my new tours on the website. And obviously, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you've got notifications on, then you'll find out, get a little notification. Do check out my shorts as well. My shorts, my longs. Take care, lovelies. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.